Today is a special service, special because we want to reflect on what Jesus has done for us. Again, as you look at the whole quarter is on mission, and the first lesson in this quarter was about mission from heaven, wasn't it? And this is exactly what we are going to talk more about. And I just wanted to go through the scripture with us. We are told that the Lord does nothing unless He reveals it. Reveals His secret to the servants, the prophets. We are reading this text in Amos. In the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. This is the truth that was not unfamiliar to Jesus, and in fact, He constantly made people aware of the fact that the prophets have spoken. The prophets have spoken, and as you are going, to prove that or to demonstrate that, there is many more places like that. When we look at the record of Gospel of Matthew, chapter 3, verse 15, we are reading as John was hesitant to, that is John the Baptist, as he was hesitant to baptize Jesus, and he says, well, you should baptize me. Then Jesus responds to it, and he says, permit it to be so now, for thus it is fitting for us to fulfill all righteousness. He was going to fulfill something. Then you keep on going to Gospel of Mark, and Mark snaps with the same. Right at the beginning in the Gospel, he says, the beginning of the Gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. It is spelled out who He is, as written by the prophets. Again, call of the Gospel as written. We are reminded that this person is coming as a fulfillment of prophecy. You keep on going to Gospel of Luke, chapter 1, verse 1, and Jesus is beginning His ministry after the 40 days of fasting and prayer. He came to synagogue, and He was given a scripture. And He opened to the book of Isaiah, and he read the words there, and as he have read, gave away the scroll, and what did He say? Today, the scripture is fulfilled in your hearing. Again, connecting, pointing to them that all of this, what is happening, what you are witnessing, was spelled out for you in the scripture. Today, we recall and meditate on what Jesus has done for us, and the significance of what He has done. And constantly we can see the entire ministry that turns that is given, and where disciples are invited to ministry. The attention is called to what was written in the past, in order that they not rely only on words right here on the words of Jesus, but they will rely. Jesus is connecting the minds to the scripture. So because He knows that one day His mission will be to go, and they will be left. And they will be left with the scripture. And what they will have to say, what they will have to do? If they want to hear the voice of God, what do? They need to read the Bible aloud, so they will hear the voice of God. Can you imagine? We can hear the voice of God today if we read His word aloud. Usually I do. When I read it aloud, I hear what God says. Okay. And so now, as we are reading in Matthew 26, verses 1 and 2, Jesus said to his disciples, you know that after 2 days is the Passover, and the Son of Man will be delivered up and crucified. Jesus is calling their attention to everything that was written, everything that was spelled out. Jesus knew that there is no secret to the disciples, but did they seriously consider to what they were experiencing? Do we seriously consider the implications of what we are reading about? What difference would it make if they were listening and actually seeing the fulfillment of it? What difference it would make to their ministry, to their work, and to the decisions and actions that they would have made. As we worshipfully remember the words, remember the events that were taking place, let's see, when we see, for example, Jesus knew the purpose of his coming. As we are looking at that, he knew that he came to what? He came with the mission to save humanity. He could have sent angels to do it. He could have spoken through the rocks. But he knew that we need to hear the gospel in our own language. So he became one of us. And in order that he would share this good news with us. It is, as we are looking at that, we need to remember that we need to actually dismiss that accusation or that statement where sometimes we hear that Jesus was God and that's why he knew everything. What Jesus just demonstrated that he knew because he was reading the scriptures. So he demonstrated now, as it is written in the scripture, as it is written in the scripture. And the closer we come to the end of this time, we will need to more and more rely as it is written in the scriptures. Because we will need to remember the devil can also read the scriptures. But we need to know exactly what it is there. Because he can misquote like he misquoted in the Garden of Eden. So he will misquote it to every one of us. It was, we know that Jesus was reading his scripture with his mommy. Every time we read the words, we rush over that, and we are going through the facts. When Jesus knew his hour had come, that he should depart from this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And we rush through these words, and we say, okay, yes, Jesus knew that the time is, it is a fulfillment of prophecy. The time has come. He knew. Can you imagine, right from the beginning, as he was reading the scripture, he was growing in awareness what is his mission and the details of his missions. And now, all this time, he knew what will be the final events. And he knew that he is going to the Father. What does it mean? What are the implications? What were the implications for him that he was going to the Father? Jesus knew that the time came that he will depart from them. And Jesus understood that before he will go, he will be rejected, that he will be ridiculed, that he will be scoffed, that he will be abused, that he will be degraded, that he will be spat upon. He knew all that. He will be abandoned by those who were closest to him. He will be friends will shun away. But Jesus went on because he loved them to the end. Jesus did this for all, for you and me. He would have done it just for Eve. He would have done it just for Eve. He would have done it if it was only one person to die for. That's how he loved. That's the significance of it. He loved his own to the end. What did he know about it? He knew that as he is going, as he came to this world, he knew that he left a place where the crowds, the hosts of heaven, were celebrating him, that they were serving him, and he left that place where the countless angelic hosts no longer could serve him. That he was going to act as a human being, that he will trust only his Father, just like we've got the opportunity. Jesus went into the upper room knowing his destiny, and he didn't shrink back from it. He knew that the way from that room, from that upper room, is to the cross. The same, in a similar way, Peter knew when he was going into upper room. He thought that he knows what's going on, and he thought that he will never let go of Jesus. That if it needs be, he will die for Jesus. What happened? Jesus knew better. Judas went to the upper room with the plan. Jesus went with destiny, but Judas went with plan. And he didn't think that things will turn this way. Incredible. We come to verse 3 and 5. Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things to him, he took that he had come from God and was going to God, rose from the supper, and he laid aside his garments, took the towel, and girded himself, knowing that he is the majesty of heaven, to be served by countless numbers of angels. When no one would touch him, when no one would scorn him, when no one would abuse him, he laid that aside for you and me, because he loved. That's what love meant. He loved us. He loved each one. And in verse 6, Jesus come to Peter, and we are reading that as he's going around the circle and he is washing the feet, he comes to Peter, and in verse 6, he says, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" He is kind of offended that Jesus wants to. He is given expression to what was happening in the minds of the disciples and other people, who were there. Peter says, "Are you not going to wash my feet?" He almost like trying to say to Jesus, "Lord, you missed something here. Culturally, it's not good for somebody that is like you to bow down and wash feet. This is the servant's job. And you are Majesty of heaven." It's interesting that Jesus, in all of this, did not see that he will be defiled, or that he will lose any credibility, or that he will lose or any of his status or anything about him when he will kneel down and wash the feet of his disciples. The lesson that he was trying to teach all disciples through 3.5 years of his ministry, now they were going to learn within few minutes. They learned, they experienced the lesson, and the full meaning of the lesson was unraveling as they were walking the dusty roads of Palestine. He stooped down and washed their feet, and he told me, if I will not wash your feet, you don't understand something, because if I will not wash your feet, you will have nothing to do with me. You could see that Peter wanted to control Jesus, but Jesus was, I know exactly what needs to happen. If that work will not be done, your salvation cannot be done. You will never give me just one, statement. You will not give me control over me. And imagine yourself. This is the service that Jesus is giving to Peter, and Peter says, no, I don't want that. Imagine King of England, King of Thailand, King of Tahiti, King of Tonga, coming and giving you a stainless steel fork. Just one. Would you be prepared to say, sorry, Your Majesty, but that will be odd thing in my drawer, in my cutlery drawer? Would you be like that? No, you can't give me just one spoon, one fork. What would it be? What it would be like? It would be rejection of the gift. True? What would you do? Would you put it in a drawer, or would you frame it, put it in the most prominent place in your house, and will say, King of Tahiti gave me this fork for the sign of friendship? Everyone in Penrith would know about it. Every time somebody would visit you, you would know that they would know that you have a stainless steel, not even silver, stainless steel spoon from King of Tahiti or Tonga or Thailand, wherever. This is what Jesus, he is coming, and Jesus was about to go to the Father to resume the splendor of universe. And it was not, he didn't feel belittled with the service that he was going to do. And the thing is that he has invited us to mission, that we become a testimony of who God is. It was the testimony of Jesus that he gave to his disciples about his greatness. The greatness was in his service, and his service was to the glory of the Father. Is there anything, therefore, if Jesus, the majesty of universe, the highest authority in universe, was not ashamed or was prepared to take this mega service of washing feet of his disciple, is there anything for you and me that is too little or too shameful service, that we would not bow down, that we would not stoop down to serve Creator of universe? Is there anything in our life that we are not worthy to do? I think this is an incredible call to humble service for His glory. May God bless us as we are reflecting on in the ordinance of humility, that we reflect on what God may be telling me to do. What do I need to do? Is there any service that is too little or too great? We know that God equips those whom He calls. So we may feel like we're not worthy. But if God chose that we are worthy because He paid the price for us, then we are worthy. And our value and our self-esteem, maybe not self-esteem, but self-value, is in the price that Jesus paid for our salvation.